How every morning starts. Cup of coffee. And away we go. Hope you enjoy the video. Well, it's a little bit different today, but we're going to revamp the old hot rod here. Been sitting for a couple months now, actually more than a couple. I blew the transmission out of it. I think I put that in another video. Kind of put too much horsepower to a not strong enough transmission, although it was supposed to be. But ain't no prom queen is hopefully coming back up on the road today. So this is a rust-free 98 GMC 1500. It was a tree trimmer's truck. So the bed's got a few, I don't know how well they'll show up, but she's got a few dings in her. But it's straight, cab corners are good. It's a no rust truck. When I got it, the interior was trashed, the dash was trashed, everything was trashed. I had a Tahoe laying around, so I put the interior pretty much out of the Tahoe in it. To put the 4-speed shifter on the floor for the automatic. A few other things. But while the transmission was out of it, the guy picked it up with a wrecker, and of course used a regular wrecker instead of a rollback, so the motor's now hanging at a kind of oddball angle, and my fuel lines got kind of boogered up. When I put it together, I kind of didn't have the right thing to begin with, so I had made those, but now they leak like a sieve, so I can't do that. And the starter decided to die after we put the training in it, so I went ahead and bought a different set of fuel lines. And of course, don't you know that these are 8 AN and those are 6 AN, so I've got to look through the big silver balloon here, which I have all my AN fittings in the back in a bin. Hopefully I can get that together today. But I'm going to go ahead and crawl underneath this mule, put a starter in it. Hopefully this transmission I got that's supposedly good is good. And if it is, we're going to drive it to Tennessee. From Tennessee, it'll probably be going up north and go up for sale. I really need a bigger, tougher pickup truck for building my barn and my house and all, so I'm sadly going to have to get rid of one of the toys. This is a little 355 motor, or 357 actually, I think it's 40 over. It's got a set of Vortec heads on it, a set of dome pistons. Compression is about 10-8 to 1, maybe 11 to 1. And an air gap manifold on it, set headers, a nice little cam in it. I don't have the specs off the top of my head. It's right around 500, 510. I don't remember the lobe separation and all that garbage. I've got the card somewhere, but she's been a good mule. It's done 2 hot rod power tours. I put all of my effort into the Chrysler to make it for the power tour this year and failed, and what I really should have done is put the transmission back in this and taken it, but I didn't, so that ended up a debacle. But she's a good old truck. If somebody's looking for a truck, and this would be a fun toy, it's probably, I don't know, if I'm winging it horsepower wise, who the heck knows. It's somewhere between maybe 400, 450, somewhere in there. But, you know, everybody says, oh, it's 400 or 500 horsepower, and the reality is, who the heck knows. The truck hauls ass. It's fun to drive. It surprises the heck out of the scat packs and stuff when she's doing right. Because it won't beat them, but it'll just about lay alongside of any scat pack challenger out there when it's not full of stuff. And, well, under here is a new aluminum radiator for it, and well, the back is full of card parts and signs off the old bar deck and batteries and you name it. So, oh, and let us not forget that my entire mobile tool set is under there. I made this long ago. It's pretty slick. It holds a lot of tools. And funny thing is, I very seldom ever use anything but this. It's got pretty much everything you need. Between that and my test light and a probe, I can do quite a bit. So anyway, we're gonna pop a starter in her, see if we can get the fuel leak fixed. The only reason I'm closing these back up is because the sun is so hot that I won't be able to touch tools. So I'm going to leave you for a few minutes, and then when I go to doing the fuel lines, I'll get you back on here and we'll see if we can't make this thing live today. Hope you're having a good day. Hope it's not 142 degrees where you are like it is here, and we'll see you in a while. Well, there's the new starter ready to go in. It's a zillion friggin' degrees. I mean, there's not a cloud in the friggin' sky. It's a beautiful day, except for the fact that it's miserable hot. And don't you know that I broke the positive cable connector off of the end of the cable? It's my old toilet out of the RV that I already had to change. And there's the cable. Don't ask me why, but for some reason, in all of the stuff that I threw away, gave away, and everything else, I just happened to keep the cable for a starter. So being as I am in the middle of nowhere, 30 miles from any place, I just happen to have one. But it's brutal hot. I'm not going to show you my t-shirt or my big belly, but trust me when I say I am soaked to the bone already. I've been out here probably a half hour. It's just brutal. It's already 95 degrees. Humidity is coming down, but it's still 70%. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and hook the positive cable up to this up here, and then I can feed it up through from underneath, which just makes it a heck of a lot easier than trying to get at it from underneath without jacking up the truck, putting jack stands on it in the dirt, blah blah blah. You know how that drill's going to end up. So we aren't playing that, and I'm going to try and get this starter in. Hopefully I don't have to shim it. This starter fits a zillion different things. You have to, on some instances, put a little spacer right here to space it back, because the Bendix sticks out too far and will interfere with the flywheel. The last one I had to shim it down, had to shim it back, and it worked. Never did quite sound right. It's a brand new flex plate that I put in there, SFI, all that garbage, and it once in a while would just tink 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 just for a second, and then it would come loose. I actually had to bevel the end of the gears. So I'm going to turn you off again, crawl up underneath, see how we do with that. I'll be back. Well, I got the dogs out. As you know, we're living in a camper. Somewhere in this thing, I don't know how well the mic is going to work. I'll get you over here close. Somewhere in the back of this fine unit. Now, there's a dead palmetto bug. A Holly carburetor. Another Holly carburetor. Holly parts and fittings. Yes. Alright, so somehow here, this is the headliner that isn't in there yet. But in this fine bin, hopefully, is what I need to fix the carburetor on my truck. Thank God I actually labeled these. So let's get a look. Well, that ain't a hand fittings. This is a hand fittings. Alright, so we're going to take you over here to the truck. Looks like we might have some rain coming. Oh, great. Well, my glasses just broke. Don't these look neat? Thankfully, I have 42 other pairs. Alright, so what we've got to do is we've got to convert 8 AN to 6 AN. That's 6 AN. Let me grab my fuel line. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so basically what we're trying to do, and don't laugh at my fuel system, it worked for 2 hot rod power tours and the truck ran great, but I made this line because it's all I had at the time and didn't bother to mess with it because it worked fine. So my pressure regulator's here. It comes out, obviously, I think that's a 6. Is that a 6? Anyway, I need to convert it to an 8. So hopefully, somewhere in my bag of tricks here, I'm going to have what I need. So hopefully, we can get this thing together. So that's what I'm working with now. I'll get back with you in a few minutes. We'll see if we can't make all this happen. The battery's getting weak. I'm not going to grab another one. So stand by. We'll be back. Okay, guys. I'm not going to light up the fuel pump again, but this fine AN line that I bought and made in to make this work off the original high pressure fuel pump with the pressure regulator and all, apparently is not ethanol rated. So it sat with some ethanol fuel in it for a couple months, and now I turn the key on, and when it pressurizes, it's actually seeping right out of the hose. It's seeping up here, it's running out here. So it's up here. I know it's above the fitting, so it's not pushing fuel all the way up and leaking it down. It's literally coming through the hose. I don't know if you could see that, but so now I gotta go get some hose. So I guess we're gonna do it old school, get a fitting, screw a fitting into the regulator, and run a good old Holly style fuel line thing to make this old dog run. I only have tomorrow. So that's the newest, guys. Oh, and a pending thunderstorm, of course. So that's all for now. I'll repost again after we get this old girl running, see if she moves. If she moves, she's going to be a towing rig. If she doesn't move, then it's up for sale for somebody for a heck of a price, needing a different 4L80E, because that's what it's set up for. Bye for now.